high school can be very tough for many, many people. Even if you're super popular, super rich, super successful, and everybody loves you, you may just be using that to hide the fact that you really are sad all the time and you just want to be loved. Whoa, oh, oh, here we go. Whoa, oh, oh, here we go. Whoa, oh, oh, no matter where you are, you just want to be loved. And if you're way low on the ladder in high school and you just want to be accepted, whether you're nerdy, whether you just like different things, even if you're in the middle, the bottom line is high school is really goddamn tough. And when it comes to those rich, successful people, well, some of them can be bitchy and you may want them to just simply cease to exist. And if anybody questions you about that, just simply say, okay, I don't want her to die. I just want her to get chlamydia. It's fine. It's totally curable. Wildflower was written and directed by Mark Smuckler, who did Wildflower 2020. Read up on that. Apparently, it was actually really good. I need to check that out at some point. And also written by Janice Savage. Dig it! That's why I had to put the Randy Savage shirt back there. The Trap and Praise This. Praise This I still need to check out at some point. And this involves Kieran Shipka, who was in the Sabrina series on Netflix. And she's pretty much the star of this goddamn thing. I mean, there are other characters that are featured prominently, but she is the main character. She is the central focus. She's what the entire movie is based around. I mean, obviously you need a main character, but sometimes you have people that are just right up there, and no, this is really her dealing with various people in her life. She plays B. Johnson, B, short for Bambi, because she was born to parents that... The word special is thrown around in this. There's another word that can be thrown around about the characters that are the parents that I'm not going to use here. Certain R word, do not use that in the comments. We don't use that word anymore. It's outdated and it's terrible to use. But her parents are well intentioned and they love her. They love her dearly. And they want to raise her right. They met, and even though they, have certain developmental issues, they love B dearly. And B ends up in a hospital in a coma and basically tells her life from birth all the way through to trying to remember how she got into this situation. It's a coming-of-age story, and B realizing that she maybe needs to not worry as much about taking care of others, even though she has a good heart, and also focus on herself. Not to be greedy, not to be selfish, but not sacrifice her future for those that she cares about, because maybe she's just too scared about interrupting the formula that she has in her life. There's caring, but then there's also getting to the point where maybe you need to focus on yourself. So this movie, yeah, coming of age and everything, I guess you could say cliched. It's about an hour and 40 minutes until the end credits really start rolling, and you get some good, some good character building, good world building in this. Alexandra Daddario's in this. The beautiful blue-eyed beauty from the Percy Jackson movies and everything, and my God, she looks great. And I thought she was way younger. She's only 5 years younger than me. And she still looks like she's maybe 25 at the most. Reed Scott is in this. Peg, Jean Stewart. One of the show stealers is Jackie Weaver, who plays Loretta. She is phenomenal in this. She is absolutely fucking phenomenal. And from there, we have a movie that's coming of age about, B navigating through life, how she grew up, and certain things that she had to do, certain sacrifices she had to make because her mother, being simple-minded, doesn't exactly know how to deal with certain situations. I mean, the husband works hard, but he was involved in a drunk driving accident when he was 12, when he got hit by a drunk driver. And his brain never really fully developed, but he's a strong-willed individual that just wants to raise his family. He just wants to help his family raise his daughter and all that. And we find out that B has had to put up with a lot and help raise the parents and help take care of them from a very, very early age. I mean, from the age of 10, she was being taught how to drive. And there were a lot of other things that you can see how she would develop this hard edge. She eventually does get into high school, meets certain people. There's her friend Nia. There's a rich guy, or a rich boy named Ethan. Ethan, by the way, Charlie Plummer, who was in Spontaneous, another movie I highly recommend you guys check out. It was very, very well done. That was a great coming of age, exploding movie. This is also coming of age, but with less explosions, more in the pity. And We have a lot of good, endearing stuff and good world building. And sure, it's cliched, but it's a good kind of cliche because the acting, especially from Karen Shipka, is phenomenal. She's great, and I can definitely see her having a super bright future and, great career for the next, 30 to 40 fucking years if she wants to stick in this because she's just that good. So yeah, that's pretty much it right there. It's on Amazon for a few bucks to rent. I am going to get into spoilers, but it's really, really good. It could even make you tear up, depending on if you've had to help your parents out with various things or had certain things happen to you during your high school days, your childhood days, whatever. It's sure typical, but it's the good kind of typical because there's great direction, great writing from both the writers and the one director. Good stuff, really good stuff. Highly recommend. Great performances, endearing stuff, and even a little tear-jerking moments, but also funny stuff. So I'm gonna get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so the religion aspect sort of gets worked on because the parents are sort of simple-minded, but they mean well. They mean well. And we find this out through the narration by B. They named her Bambi B for short. I wrote down Alexandra Daddario is gorgeous because she is. My God, she looks great. The parents mean well. They, when they meet when they're younger, the respective parents of both these, adults with childlike minds is the best way I can describe it. Fucking Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond is in this. Chris Mulkey is in this as well. There's a really good cast for this. They want to go out on their own after the dad's like, hey, I want to raise my family. I want to raise my family. That's what they're meant to, that's what the man has to do. He has to provide, even though there are certain pitfalls and everything. They end up in an RV park. They end up in a house. Teaching a 10-year-old to drive, the mom can't. I mean, it would not be a good idea for the mom to drive. There's a dog here. The dog ends up at one point getting out of the house because the mother leaves the door open. She realizes she can't take care, at 10 years old, can't take care of her parents and her family. Leaves the dog with some neighbors or a family nearby or something. I'm not exactly totally sure. I mean, it runs away for a little bit. She wanted the dog to have a normal life. Don't worry, the dog's fine, boy. It's fine, by the way. And there's also this social worker, Mary, who I'd say that actress in particular did I didn't write all the names down, I do apologize. She was good. She was very good in this. Nice overarching story with that, just trying to figure out what's going on. She has interacted with the family before, because B, when she was 10, went out to search for the dog and crashed the truck. A very, very old truck that looked like it was beat up even, years before it really, really got beat up. And sure, it's standard fare, but it's really good. I mean, she's in this coma for a while trying to figure out all this stuff that's going on. See the parts with the parents growing up. She's talking to her friend Nia, played by a woman named Cannon. That's her name. Cannon with a K. Kannon. I don't exactly know why. Whatever. I'm not here to judge. I just don't know why anybody would name it. Whatever. Maybe it's an actor name. Kieran's phenomenal in this. Very good. Very, very good. Charlie Plummer is also very good in this. I can see him having a very bright, career. And Chloe Rose Robertson, I had to write that name down, is the bitchy girl Esther. No, not the one from Orphan, which was good. Orphan First Kill wasn't. Fuck Orphan First Kill. How dare you? Jackie Weaver, phenomenal in this. I can't praise her enough. And romance blossoms between Ethan and B. Even though he comes from a family that had, and he also had testicular cancer. He had a form of cancer when he was younger, lost a ball. They meet at a party. She takes him to the hospital when he starts bleeding, and it's because he was trying to strain himself to piss over a Land Rover because high school partying, am I right? And the line that I had, about, just have her get chlamydia, it's fine, it's totally curable, was said while Nia and B were talking. And the friendship kind of gets pushed aside. B has aspirations, didn't have aspirations to go to prom. Meets Ethan, of course she wants to. The mom ends up helping her and Nia score some beer. And then from there, after they go to this party and after she meets Ethan, romance blossoms, meet the parents. And the parents mean well. Again, they mean well. They don't mean, they're not trying to be mean. They're not trying to be disingenuous. At one point, there's a there's a funny little scene where, Kieran says, "Oh, I'm not going to lose my virginity like every other member of my family in the backseat of a car. Oh, fuck it." Funny. I mean, it's funny. And so then she has reasons for not wanting to go to college. Talks to a college or a high school counselor. She's worried about what's going on. What's going on. What's going to happen with her parents. The mom buys alcohol for some kids that have always been hanging out in front of the store and gets arrested. This is while dress shopping was happening between Nia and B. And B kind of is a little bit bitchy about, well, the reason it's like basically implying that the reason that she's not able to get a date to prom is nobody wants her. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I mean, friends sometimes need to be, have a harsh reality with you, but not like that. So, B ends up having to use her money basically to bail her parents out of jail. So she was going to use that money because Ethan could help. Ethan's offered to help her with stuff and everything, and not as a way to have it over her. He wants to help. He wants to use his means to help her out. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to do stuff on her own. And then she's not going to college. She wants to take care of other people. She abandons all that. She kind of gets in a bit of an argument with Ethan. It seems like they're going to break up. And all this is happening, by the way, her working this through her memories while we pop in occasionally with some hospital scenes. She apologizes to Nia. She's mad herself. B is. And then earlier we met Esther's brother, who gets her in a car and kind of tries to make moves on her in the backseat of a friend's car. She ends up out, in like a dirt field outside of Vegas, seemingly. And throws up, but ends up, pulling away from the guy, ends up hitting her head. So that's what happened. Now everybody's worried, oh no, she's going to end up with a brain injury, just like her dad, just like her mom. Oh no, this is going to happen. Don't worry, she's going to make a full recovery. Also, she found the dog, by the way, that's still alive somehow. Found it at a neighbor's house. It wasn't being really taken care of. They didn't show any animal abuse. Do not worry. And she brings it back home. She's like, I'm sorry. She wanted the dog to have a good life, and I mean, I understand that. Dog is probably fucking confused. Don't abandon your animals, please. And she makes a full recovery. Her and Ethan stay together. And they're one big happy family. Everything's good. She gets a car from Grandpa to go to college. She doesn't really need it, though, so she gives it to her parents so they can get around more, because the dad has a job with Lyft, even though I wouldn't really trust that guy to drive, to be perfectly honest, but he drives better than the mother. And then there's a funny scene where they pick up a client while they're taking her to college. And her and Nia are going to, they're going to separate colleges, UCLA, USC, and her and Ethan are together. So it's really good. It's good. It actually is good. It is good. Perhaps even great. It is great. Fuck it. I'm going to call it great. Cliched? Sure. Good writing, though? Yes. Great writing. Great performances. Well done. Bravo. Bravo. A+. I'll give it an A+. Is it going to be my top 10 favorite films of the year? I mean, I've given quite a few A+'s out already this year. It will be praised, and it is something I highly recommend you check out. Wildflower is quite good. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.